Hey cosplayers! I'm Skylar Osler, and in today's episode of... No, how does that start? In today's apprenticeship, I'll be teaching you how to make Nightwing's mask. So yeah, see if we have anybody on here. Hello, Victoria Wheat, welcome! Jesus, what's up? Comical Geek 145, how's it going? Jerome, hey, what's up? Long time no see. Cool. Yeah, we got a bunch of people on here already. Liv Lou, what's up? Welcome. All right. So, if you guys missed my intro, today we're doing cosplay. I don't want to keep saying cosplay apprentice. We're doing Nightwing's mask. So I know you guys have been waiting for this. Raul Lopez Craft, what's up? Ian Geek Freak, hey! Comical Geek. You were on the last live stream. Cool. Alright, sweet. So yeah, let's catch you guys up on what I've done so far. Let me get set up here. Okay, cool. So, since last time, I've basically just been working on the other half. So we had the arm and we had the leg that we had done previously and the pauldron. So since then, I've just been working on getting all those same things done on the other side. So since I'm kind of in the middle of that, we've already done that, I thought tonight we should work on the mask. So I thought that would be fun. Move forward with that. Unfortunately, I don't have anything like completely ready to go, so we're gonna be designing it and patterning and everything tonight. So hopefully you guys are up for learning that as well, because it's part of the process. And pretty excited to work on this mask. It's gonna be pretty legit. So Jenna, hey! Alfonso, what's up? Let's see. CC Wiz, hey! Raul, my name is Skylar. Here on the Cosplay Apprentice channel. We're getting close to the end of the build. The mask, we've got to do the chest emblem, and then we've got the props. So the nightsticks and some pouches to go along with the belts and stuff like that. So yeah, we're getting pretty close. Ravenous Ravenclaw, welcome back. Cool. All right. So yeah, so I caught you up kind of on what I've done so far, or what I've done since we last talked. I've just basically repeated some of the stuff we've already done. I also, though, improved my shop area here a little bit, so that's kind of exciting. Let's just go through that, and then we'll jump into the build. So I added this little addition over here to my workbench, my work table, and I drilled like these holes in for cable management, so I can sit there and toss that back in there. If you guys remember last time, the heat knife broke, which is sad, but Amazon's awesome, and getting this replaced, and they gave me a label to print off and send off to them and everything, so I don't even have to pay to ship this one back, and then I'm gonna get a new one. We'll give it a second try, and if it breaks that easy again, then I won't recommend that to you guys. But yeah, so pretty cool setup. Kind of got everything organized a little bit more so I can work more efficiently. I'm pretty excited about that. And yeah, so with that, let's jump in. So basically, to start off with, we're going to need to design the mask, how I want it to kind of look. That's pretty easy because I'm going off of the Young Justice. Olivia's here now. Going off of the Young Justice Nightwing, so we want to basically have that same silhouette, but we just want to, you know, spruce it up a little bit, add a little bit more depth to it and that kind of thing. So this will be the reference image that we'll be going off of. Let me flip the camera around here. So this is what we'll be looking off of. And then we will basically get that outline. We're going to kind of draw it up first.
Sorry, Salt Lake Comic-Con is advertising on this.
On this video?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
That's kind of fun.
That's perfect. So yeah, we'll be using this. Oh yeah. Speaking of Salt Lake Comic-Con, if you guys are new here tonight, I'll be at Salt Lake City Comic-Con doing 2 panel presentations. One of them on forging with foam, working with foam and to make cosplay costumes and props. The other one is forging with thermoplastics, so how to use different kind of thermoplastics to be able to make your costumes and props as well. And then I will also be in a panel, Cosplay 101. So I'll be in a panel each one of the days of Salt Lake City Comic-Con, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever day you guys are coming. Please swing by and say hi. I'd love to see you guys and hang out and take pictures and just be able to see you guys and meet you guys in person. So that would be awesome. All right, so jumping back on track. So we'll draw it up first, kind of how we want it to look, so I have an idea to reference. And then we're going to tape up my face so that we can create a pattern that we can then pose over onto foam. So, to begin with, let's see.
Oh, wow, I eat a brownie.
Maria Prince, welcome. See if I've gotten since I missed some of the live streams. Okay, awesome. Yeah, Victoria. Well, let's just... Okay, super quick. For people that may have missed a couple in a row, let's just show you where we're at so far.
Do you have that gold pen?
It is in one of the boxes in the storage room. Okay, so I've got both pauldrons now. I haven't attached anything. I haven't attached all the pieces yet, so that's something I still need to do. But I've gotten the pieces made. So we've got the 2 pauldrons going on there. Let me grab some of the other stuff. We've got... Whoop. So we've got an arm. Well, I have both arms now. This is the right one, the one I didn't have done yet. So we've got that. Let's see, I also finished up the left leg, and I'm in the process of working on the right leg. So here's the left leg. You can see the hinging there, and then each of these pop open and hinge open there, and then snap on this side. So that's one of our legs there. I still need to do the little bit of design work on the back to cover up this seam on the calf. But I also added this at the bottom, which will wrap, this loops around the bottom of my boot. And then this kind of transitions from the leg into the boot with these cool articulating pieces of armor as well. So pretty cool. Getting there, getting pretty close. So yeah, hopefully that kind of caught anybody up. The back still is about the same. One thing we still need to do is attach the magnets onto the back. They need to go on here, and then of course all the painting stuff. We need to do the emblem and all that, but...
Hi, Jerome! I know, it's been so long. Sometimes I'm not here in the beginning of the builds.
Alright, okay, so let's start drawing this mask up and jump right into getting this taken care of. I'm excited for this. We'll probably get pretty far on the mask tonight because we'll be working with foam and things move a lot quicker. So I'm finding that I do like foam a lot. Cintra's pretty cool for a lot of things, and I'm liking how, you know, it's got like this actual hardness to it and everything for this build, but I am realizing that I'm a little bit impatient and I like how quick I can make things with foam compared to with Sintra. But so we're working with foam today, which is going to be awesome. Let's switch camera angles and jump into this. Okay, so drawing the mask out, I'm going to kind of, just to save myself having to draw a straight line, I'm just going to fold this paper in half so I can see kind of a center line here. And then from there, I'm just kind of using that picture I showed you guys. I just typed in Nightwing Young Justice on Google and then went to images and got this one, found this one. So basically his mask comes up like this a little bit, and then right towards the end of the eye, or the end of the forehead, kind of pops up, and then it kind of comes down and does that triangle bit right there, but this kind of wraps around, like this is the edge of his face, so that triangle piece kind of starts to go as the cheeks start to move back on the face. So that'll be something we'll need to consider. That'll be why taping my face up and then drawing it is going to be beneficial, because we'll actually get that dimension. We can get that same two-dimensional look, that the silhouette basically of what his mask looks like, with that 3D depth from doing that. So this comes in a little bit further on the bottom than it does on the top before it juts up, and it just comes up a little bit like that. And then it comes back to a pretty narrow point at the end. So, something kind of like that. Let's see. This maybe comes up a little bit further. And actually, I'm going to look at a different picture as well, just to see, because his hair is kind of in the way on this picture. Of what the top of the mask looks like. Let me see if there's another image that shows me the top of the mask better. His hair is kind of covering it up in most. Oh, there we are. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this. So there we can see the top of the mask a little bit better. So it's a bit sharper than, whoops. It's a bit sharper on the top than what I just drew, because I was just kind of guessing because I couldn't see it. So it actually is sharper, and it kind of juts backwards, like back up a little bit into the face. So let's do that. I think part of it is that angle on that one. The other one doesn't seem to angle in as much, so I'm going to make that angle just a little bit shallower than maybe I would. Like that. And then the other thing we need to determine is how I'm wanting the eyes to look. So I'm going to probably go with like he seems to have kind of this, let's see. And his eyes come out to about there.
Jerome's hoping that you'll make a Pokeball or a Pokedex prop.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay. So we're going to kind of go with that as our basic idea, and it's going to change a little bit like once we draw it on my face to kind of give us this look, and then translate it into a 2D thing to make it. But that'll be kind of what we'll go off of. For making it. What do you think on that eye? Is that
looks cool?
Look cool? Okay.
It's very Batman-y.
Yeah. All right, sweet. So something else I do want to kind of plan out is I'm actually gonna have I want to add a little bit more depth and dimension and stuff to this. So I'm thinking I kind of want to make these points have like kind of a, let's see, do I want to make it, I'll kind of follow this eye too, eye line, so then trying to think how I want to kind of add some more like geometric shapes to this.
Drone masks. Are you still working on the Voltron video?
Yes. Sorry I haven't come out with that full video yet. Mostly I've been scrambling to just try to make sure I'm getting everything I need to done for Comic-Con. And then I'll be able to focus more on getting some of those videos finished up that I want to. So I also want, so this is kind of like as the brow right here. So I kind of want it to have kind of come inward a little bit, if that makes sense. So like have this be like a high point and have it kind of drop in. And then I also want a little bit of a kind of outline around this of where it kind of just drops in even a little bit more. So I might have it come like that. And then down. And then we'll see. This might be way too much, but I'm just kind of playing around with some stuff here. So cool. That's kind of what I'm going to go with for now. What do you guys think of that? So these will just kind of be like subtle ridges that you'll see that kind of show up, and as the mask is going to kind of bend around the face back this way here, we're going to kind of have add a little bit of that just kind of geometric shape into it. So we'll see how that works. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. We might have to do a couple tests on it and see how it turns out. Try out some different things, but let's run with that for now. So if you can see, I just kind of only drew half of it, because basically if we wanted to cut it out or anything, I could just fold it in half and then cut it, and then we'd be able to see both halves. But this isn't like, this is just kind of freehanding the design. It's not going to necessarily fit right on my face or anything like that. So what we need to do now is actually just tape up my face and get an actual pattern that we can go off of, that we know is going to actually form and fit to my face, and then we can do some more shaping to it from there. Okay, so here we go. Grabbing the handy dandy masking tape, or painter's tape, I mean. And we're just going to jump right into taping up my face. Let's see, which eye do I want to see out of for drawing? This? Draw on this side, or probably draw on this side. Okay. Here goes nothing. So with this, because there's a bunch of kind of like, you know, curves and everything with my eye, probably gonna do, I can do bigger pieces on the parts that don't have as many curves and that kind of thing. But then I'm gonna want to do smaller pieces to be able to kind of get into those little gaps and that kind of thing. So
Jerome wants to know if we have any tips for starting high school. He just started 8th grade.
I don't know. Be nice, have fun, do extracurricular activities. I think that's like a huge one. Like, get involved in something.
Friends are more important than dating. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 8th grade, that wasn't really on my mind. I think it more like senior year.
So, let's hope I don't pull out any eyelashes when I do this, right? So this is Skylar taping up his face on live YouTube. Dun dun dun.
This is what you all signed up for, right?
Yep. This is why people are here. They wanted to see me tape up my face.
No, I did. Welcome back, CC Wiz. He's just taping up his face.
Yep. Didn't miss much. So obviously I'm being careful on my eye, but I'm trying to kind of push it into the shape and fit those contours. This is funny. It's kind of weird going, only looking out of one eye.
Good night, Danilo. From Brazil.
Cool. Good night. Thanks for tuning in.
I know this is not what we're working on, but I do like the gold rivets.
Oh yeah.
Looks cool, huh?
Nice. It's looking great.
I'm just working on my cosplay as well.
Louie's working on her steampunk Catwoman.
Julie says, careful with the eyebrows and eyelashes, haha.
I know. Luckily, this isn't duct tape or something. I highly wouldn't recommend this with duct tape because that will definitely pull stuff out.
Yeah, CC Wiz wants to know why you wouldn't use aluminum foil or saran wrap between your face and your eye.
You can. Mostly I don't want saran wrap on my face. It just sounds scary to me. But also, too, because I'm only kind of just doing, I'm only going to do half of the mask thing, and then we're going to trace the other. We're going to just mirror this because I want it to be perfectly symmetrical. And so to get the aluminum foil or saran wrap to kind of just stay on one side of my face, I guess I could have like wrapped around like this. So you can do that if you'd like. I just decided to just kind of go for it. And suffer the consequences of it pulling out eyebrow hairs.
I don't know when last to look at you. I'm just kidding.
So when I'm taping, I like to go like well past where I think I'm going to need to go. So that way I just have plenty of room, you know, because we're going to trace it on there and then cut out what we actually want it to be. So, you know, obviously his mask doesn't come like this far down, but I'm going to tape that far down just so that it's better to have it go further than you need than not enough. Than not far enough, so. perfect. This camera works as like a mirror for me. Be able to
Nice.
see what I'm doing here. So if any of you guys watched my video on how to make Iron Fist's mask with Ronnie Street Stunts, this is a very similar, very basically the same thing that we did there. His is just more of a full face mask. This one's going to be just less. So you guys feel free to go watch that full process after this if you want to see more of kind of what you can do with this same idea.
CC Wiz wants to know what you're going to use to make the Eskrima sticks.
I'm going to use a PVC pipe and polyplastics, magnets, and paint. Probably some, well, if I have the polyplastics, I probably won't need glue. Let's see, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not completely sure until I get into it what I'm going to be using, but I definitely plan on using PVC pipe and polyplastics. And then I'm hoping to add an electrical component, but that'll be determined by how quickly I can do this stuff, if I can get it done by Comic-Con or not. So
What switch house will they light up?
yeah, I want to make it. I bought some LEDs and I bought some like high-powered flashlight things or whatever to test around with that stuff, but we'll see what I'm able to do in the time frame that I have. So, all right. I think we need a little small piece right there. Okay, so now comes the fun part where I'm going to try to draw this on my face with in a mirror type of situation, which is always fun to draw on yourself without really being able to see.
Do you feel better about that than me helping you?
I mean, I think I can do it. It's not. Okay, so pull up my reference image here. Okay. I wonder, will this pencil show up? I'm kind of wondering if I want to do it in pencil first.
That sounds painful.
Kind of showing up. Let's see. We'll do the thin marker. Come on. There we go. Alright, got my fine tip Sharpie here. So it really kind of comes to a point right but at the top of his nose kind of thing. With the way I have that, I'm just trying to figure out where, because in the cartoon it obviously doesn't show the full bridge of his nose going all the way up to know kind of where it meets. But in relation to the eyes, the center, if you look at the center of the eyes like this on the character, it does seem to be the center of the point of where it meets on the nose. So I'm going to kind of go here. That's not working. So a lot of times when I'm like not sure how to do something, I'll just look at like what I just did there, where I say, okay, well, where is it in relation to the character's eyes, and how does it line up there? And the important part too of part of making something look like the character is making it look proportioned to your body. So it's like, you know, if you're doing something that's like normally for like a 6 foot, 7 foot tall person, like giant kind of character or something like that, but you're trying to adapt it to yourself unless you're making yourself 7 feet tall. Then you want to try to adapt to that. Oh, do you have that ruler? The bendy ruler?
I'll go get it.
Okay.
Sorry, I stole it.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm making curtains.
You're good.
Nathan Reynolds said, just got on, not sure what's been said, but are you going to do the white eyes or will the white eyes be see-through?
Yeah, I'm planning on trying to do the white eyes. I was talking through it at dinner trying to plan out how I'm going to do it, but I think I have an idea of how I'm going to make that happen. So that's the plan, is to shoot for that. And if it doesn't work, then we'll just go to plan B, which is to not do it. Okay. So looking at the character, I'm going to see if I can find a side view here. You guys can look at my tape face while I'm like looking for this, I guess. Here's a side angle. See if it gives us anything though. Okay, I'm just trying to get an idea of how far back it comes on him, the mask. And so, you know, here's his jawline, right? And mask comes down. So, I mean, it's like just a little ways off from the sideburns. If you draw a straight line down, you can kind of see it on the shadow there. Then it doesn't come lined up right with the jaw. Comes in just a little bit. So that's kind of what I'll go off of. And then, oh, this is a good look at the bridge thing of the nose. So it looks like it actually comes down on the nose a little bit more than it goes up onto the forehead portion. So that's good to know as well. So let's continue on with that.
Hi, Bruce!
Hey, Bruce, welcome. Cool, so I got this sweet bendy ruler. You can like bend it into shape and then it holds that shape. So this will be kind of helpful in drawing a straight line down here so we know where our center point is.
CC Wiz says, recently I've been working with 3D models and made some cool stuff. I thought you would like the DCEU style Nightwing.
Sweet. That sounds awesome. Nope, that's not quite centered. Let's try it. Let's do it from this side. Okay, I'm just going to draw the center line. Okay, cool. So I think if we look at it from the side, it comes up onto the forehead a little bit, but goes down further on the nose. So I think we got that one right on the nose, guys. Okay, so now what I like to do on these, so in trying to figure out kind of, you know, how far out do I come, what's this line gonna do? I like to kind of find these next like intersection points, plot that out on the character's face, and then just kind of mark a dot there, and then I'll just connect the dots kind of thing. So that way I'm not just trying to like draw it, and then I'm like, oh, I'll redraw that line. Oh, I'll try to redraw, you know, trying to get it right. So let me see. On that, it seems to, let's show you guys. So just trying to, trying to figure out kind of where that hits.
looking at this side view, and then also looking at the, let's look at some of the other ones. This front view here. That one's not too good because we don't really see where that point happens. But here you can kind of tell it's going to happen before the end of the eye. But let's look at, this was the one where we could see the top of it. So yeah, so it looks like it happens just before the end of the eye. And it looks like that's where it kind of starts to curve around the side of the face too a little bit. So let's go with that.
So let's kind of get an idea of where my eye ends, right? And my head starts to kind of curve. So here's kind of the end of my eye, right? The corner. And so we want to come in just a little bit like that. And then we want like an upward angle to there. So I'm just going to mark a dot. Oh, dang it. I need some better Sharpies. Okay, come on. Do you know where any more Sharpies are, honey?
Go.
Because these ones are just not. There we go.
Do I need to go look for Sharpies?
Yes, please. Okay, so now I'm going to just kind of come from this line here and try to connect the dots between the two. And it really seems to just kind of come to a center point and then kicks back up on the other side. So there we go there. And then, so now we want to kind of figure out, okay, how much higher up does it go? So let's take a look. You guys are getting the full like designing experience on this one here. So you can see here, it kind of looks like it comes up to maybe the middle of his forehead, that point, that tip on it. I would say probably hits about the middle of his forehead. You imagine his hairline probably is right up here, right? His hair is coming down and covering that, but if that's his kind of his hairline up here, actually, if we think of it that way, then it's not necessarily the middle of his forehead. It's maybe a third of the way up. So we'll see if we can't match that on my face, because my hairline is more visible. So if we kind of go more by where his hairline is, so here's the top, here's the bottom of my forehead essentially. So if we go like a third, probably somewhere around there, and then it angles up slightly, right? So I'm gonna go right there. Oh, Olivia's got some better Sharpies.
I don't know if it's better.
Oh yeah, much better. Okay, so right
Hey, Banana Vlogs.
there.
Welcome.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna connect the dots between those two. Like so. Cool. Alright, so now, the way I kind of drew this, now we're going to start to do this part that comes around and hits that corner. So I kind of did it so that it hits a little bit of a point there and then drops down. We'll see kind of how that works with coming around the side of the face. So what we do want to know for sure is, okay, how high up is that corner piece, and then how far back on the side of the head is that piece. So let's look at a couple reference images.
Alright, so this one's kind of good as a little 3/4 profile. We'll want to look at like a complete profile one to see how far back it comes. So here, I mean, his eyes are different, like depending. This is one of the things that I can't accomplish, is actually having the white be able to adjust based on how my expression is on my face. So we just kind of have to pick an eye and go with it. But it does look like this point is a little bit below in the sight line here, a little bit below the corner point of the eye here. So, and that's actually what I have drawn by how I'm doing the eyes, so that's good. Let's take a look at a different image. Let's see this one, just to kind of see from front on. Whoops, wrong button. Zoom. Oh, come on, zoom. There we go. Alright, so from here, you know, it like comes back. I mean, and it almost looks like it intersects with his hairline. So it's probably, you know, pretty close, but there's probably a little bit of a gap. But from the front, it looks like it overlaps it because it's in front of it. So let's look at one more just from the profile to see how far back. Oh, what we wanted to see on this one too was where is that corner hit. So here on the eye, which this eye is probably closer to the one I'm doing. If we go with the corner, it almost lines up actually in line with the corner of the eye, that bottom corner. So, and that's kind of what I have drawn here. So, let's see. Where is that side one? Profile. Okay, so yeah, like we said before, I mean, so just depending on the angle you look at it, it's either above or below that corner of the eye. Obviously, it's a cartoon, so they draw it differently however they want. But I think the basic idea, if we kind of try to hit that corner somewhere within a margin of error, up or down from that, then I think we're good. So then just kind of looking at where it hits on the jaw, where the hairline comes in, and looking at the ear too is a good indicator. It looks like it sits a little bit below the top of the ear. Not quite all the way to the middle of the ear though. And then not all the way back. But pretty close. It goes back pretty close to the hairline, so, or to the sideburns there. Okay, cool. So going with that, let's take a look at what we've got. So we want to kind of mark a dot, like what we've been doing. So I'm gonna kind of, here's like the corner. I'm gonna kind of go down to like there, and then we'll come across and get an idea of where that might hit. I can't see with looking to the side here, but where my sideburns are. But I think that kind of where my finger is. Does that give a little bit of a gap, honey, between my sideburn and my finger?
Yeah.
How big of a gap? Maybe just like a finger?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Let's go with that then. And then how does that hit on my ear? It's below the top of the ear, which is what we said, but not quite to the middle of the ear. So maybe up just a tad bit right there. Cool. I think we're probably looking pretty good right there. So we're going to mark that dot there. And now at this point, I want to try to look straight into the camera here. And we want that to look like just that like sharp triangle coming down, right? So I need to go from this point to this point, but I don't want to do it looking this way because it's going to change because of the curve of my face. I want that front profile to look just like that mask silhouette, right? So I need to go from point A to point B. Maybe using the ruler might be a good way to go. So okay,
So where are we? Right here. Okay. So I'm just gonna start doing this angle. And actually, remember, so we're gonna go to the side of my head. The way I drew it, and I kind of like that. Kind of drew it with it coming out a little bit wider than maybe the character is, and then going down. Sorry, I'm kind of cheating, trying to see here. That is hard to do, to kind of draw it straight on. So I'm doing the straight line there first, and then I'm realizing it's hard to even see kind of where that hits. So then we kind of look and see, okay, how does that look from the side? How does it look from the front? This is kind of a mess up in here. I'm gonna have to clean up kind of where that happens. I'm gonna kind of draw a line along where it shifts from my brow starting to head into the side of my face, just for a reference right there. Okay.
Welcome, Lion Brute.
Nice.
And Wowza.
Wowza, welcome back. Okay. So, alright, I think we're probably good with that for now. So now we want to do the bottom part, right? So we're going to do a similar thing where we kind of pick this point and we're going to connect the dots, right? And so with the way I drew it here, this hits a little bit further out than this angle does. Let's see what the character does.
Okay, so we want a different image than this one, probably. More straight on like this one. Right, so yeah, so that's about the same. You can see here kind of drops down, not quite in the middle of the eye, but a little bit off from the middle, a little bit to the outside. So, and then as far as how far down this point comes, it's not all the way to the bottom of the nose. It's, probably kind of where like your nose has that little bulb kind of thing that comes off once it starts to straighten out. I'm guessing that's probably going to be kind of where we're going to go with on that.
So if you can see on my nose here, after this bulb part, and then it starts to straighten out, we're going to kind of just go straight across from there. And then it's in a little bit further. Not quite, so here's my eye, right?
Hey, Zach.
Not quite the middle of my eye, but a little bit over. And then down to like right there. Let's try that out. Okay, so we're going to just kind of create a straight line. To that, and then see how far up does it
come. Let's see. Okay, so then the top of it isn't... Let's go with the ear on this is probably the best reference. So the bottom of it is kind of where the lobe of the ear starts, and then top of it is kind of where that starts to crook up off of the ear. So let's kind of look at that.
So I might have come down a little bit further if we're going off of the ear than what we just went with there. So maybe I move this up a tad bit. Let's see if I'm looking straight on. Here's top of my lobe. Actually, that probably is pretty good actually. So then where it starts to crook up is like right here. So I'm going to just kind of draw a line, and it goes basically straight up. I'm just going to try to draw. Let's go in with that. Ding. Okay. Right, and then from there, it's basically just we're going to do a straight line off of there. So
Welcome, Total Drama Island 906. She says, cool beans.
cool beans. Cool beans. Beans. Okay, so I want to try to straighten this out. Kind of curves a little bit with trying to... I want it to have the look of being just a straight line, even though it's kind of wrapping around the curves of my nose and cheek and stuff. So I need to bring it up a little bit. There we go. So basically, I'm kind of ignoring all of this extra black down here that I did. I'm going to go kind of where the black meets the blue line. Or where the blue tape basically meets the edge of that black. So we're going to go with that. Okay. So, now we got to draw the eye. So this is kind of the tricky part where you want to try to get the shape of the eye of the character, but you also want to be able to see out of it with your eye, right? So you can see that my eye is probably significantly larger than the cartoon character's little slit eyes. So I'm going to look for one of the biggest eye options that we have here on the reference images.
Nathan Reynolds has a very good point. Who in their right mind would actually enjoy cool beans? Way better warm beans.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
That's why I don't like that. Yes.
Just because it grosses you out.
Yeah, I don't want cold beans.
I'm thinking that image we had right there is probably one of the best ones. Or this one's pretty good, maybe. That one's kind of more just triangular. Alright, I think we're just going to go with this one. So, alright.
It's just crazy. I just was like, it's so funny having half my face taped up. I just wanted to do something weird. Okay. So, this is the eye that I drew. So we're going to try to kind of match that here. So we got to pick my sharp end point here. So once again, I'm just going to kind of do the points that I want to hit, and I'm just going to connect the dots, okay? So here's kind of corner of my eye. And on there, yeah, that should work. Okay, so I'm going to mark kind of a point there. And then it slants down a little bit. Actually, let's go more like right here. And it slants down a little bit like that. And then I have it kind of come down to a point a little bit in, more like in the middle of the eye. Okay. And then I have, I'm going to do this upper sharp point here.
Nathan says, your eye's going to be super sensitive to the light once you take that off. Don't blind yourself.
Yeah.
Especially with the little like light shining at you.
Yeah. And then I have another point right up here.
I totally didn't read the numbers, Zachary Bob.
The what?
A recent scientific study showed that out of, and then it has this big long number. I'm like, what is that? That's 2 billion. Anyway, it's 94% are too lazy to actually read that number.
That's so funny. Okay, sorry I'm not talking much. I'm kind of focused since I'm drawing around my eye.
Entertain us. What's your problem? Okay, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I have to unlace this in order to finish painting it.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to lace this back up.
Oh shoot. Just like make sure you pay attention to how it's done.
No. Don't want to.
I want this to kind of come up to more of a point like here instead. Oh, maybe that actually does. I was just sideways.
Nathan says, make sure the eye shape has a typical angry shape. It's easy somehow to make it look sad. It does look a little sad. I guess I'll go check on those dogs. We're watching my mom's dogs. And they're barking. I'll see what they're doing.
What do you think?
This look a little sad.
Well, don't look at this part with the slightly raised. Look at this part, like angled down, and see what you think there.
I don't know if it looks angry. Maybe move it up a little bit in the corner, like a cat eye a little bit. I don't know. What's wrong?
Okay, well, I can play with the eye a little bit more too once we get it off of my face. But yeah, I think that we're on the right track. What do you guys think? Probably good enough to start with and start playing with it from there. So I'm gonna take the tape off. Yeah, here we go. Oops. Total Drama Island, we'll be using EVA foam for the mask. Once I get this template pattern piece made. So I'm just being careful to make sure that all the pieces of, because I had small pieces of tape, I don't want them to come off and stay on my face while everything else comes off because it'll mess up our drawing on it. So I'm just kind of slowly inching my way along here. And ta-da! Whew! Okay. That's going to be blurry out of that eye for a second. Alright. Cool, cool. Alright, so let's change camera angles here and take a look at what we got.
Say, yay, still have the brow.
Yeah, I still have my eyelashes and I still have my eyebrow, so. And this is cool because you can see the three-dimensional effect that we get from like form-fitting it to my face. That it kind of just automatically creates that that depth. So.
You have a question. After the template, what are you going to use to make the mask?
Yeah, I did answer that one actually while you
sorry.
were up. No, it's okay. I'm gonna just.
Assume you ignored them all.
Just gonna fix a couple little spots that might have some weak points here on the by adding some extra tape. Okay, so. Ooh, my right eye is blurry. All right, so what I'm gonna do, kind of, maybe we'll draw the eye in silver.
Do you want like a silver pink pen?
Oh, this gel pen's working great.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
You're welcome.
Angry eyes tilt down, right?
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that? Like angry eyes?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
They tilt down towards the angle down towards the
Yeah.
nose. Okay. I think that's looking pretty cool. What do you think?
Ooh, that looks really cool.
Yeah? Sweet.
I'm a fan.
Okay. Cool. Sorry guys, that's all that matters to me is what Olivia thinks, so.
He just does this so he can trap me in here for 2 hours while he makes things.
Okay, here we go. All right. So first things first, let's cut this out so that we can kind of see what we're dealing with. And then we need to figure out how we can transfer this into a two-dimensional shape to be able to trace onto foam and then have it give us our similar type of dimension here. So I'm actually wondering, this is where it curves back on the face here. We kind of marked that line.
Cedric.
This brow here, I kind of drew something that follows this similar line there.
So that's interesting. I wonder how we can kind of play that. We'll just maybe make it sharper, huh? Let's see. And then this, I wanted to kind of add a little bit of a angle on.
I am working on my corset right now, CC Wiz. It looked too, I bought a corset, but it looked too, like, biker chicky. So I'm painting with a paint pen, all of the rivets, gold. And then I'm gonna kind of do a wash over them, because it is a steampunk Catwoman. So, I don't know when you'll see it. Hopefully Sky will make me a cowl, and you'll be able to see that. And then I'll definitely post pictures on my Instagram and stuff.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of trying to make these a little bit sharper and see what that looks like. To kind of see if I can do a similar thing that I was thinking of here. And actually, I'm thinking just simpler is better on this, guys. I don't know if I'm going to do all these geometric shapes.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I just focus on this sharp brow. What do you think of that? If I just kind of sharpen that brow a little bit like that? Or did you like it more rounded how it was?
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of folded that over to make this like brow look a little bit sharper on it.
How am I gonna make it steampunky? Yeah, I have some gears and stuff. I'm making a big old kind of saloon bustle with it, and then I have this really cool like leather, like pleather pants with lace that kind of has little pockets of lace, and then I've got like buckles and stuff like that. I'm gonna make some spats for my shoes that will match the bustle. It's gonna be cool. Nathan says, I agree, focus on that sharp brow area, no shapes.
Yeah.
I think so too. I just didn't fully
Yeah,
understand.
I'm just gonna simplify on that, and I think simpler's better.
Simpler's gonna look better, yeah.
But I think the depth just from it like form fitting to my face is gonna make a difference anyway, so I think that'll be good. Okay. So then what do I need to do on this one? I need to just stick with where the blue meets the black, right? To kind of give us the illusion that we wanted. Okay, cool. So there's half of our mask. Man, my right eye is still a little blurry. All right. So now the main thing is we need to figure out how to convert this from being a three-dimensional with all this depth to being able to lay it flat on foam, cut it out, and then glue certain pieces back together to give it the look that we're going for. Or do it in multiple pieces kind of thing, right? So let's cut out the eye as well.
That'll give us a better idea too of where we're looking. Oh, that looks so much cooler.
Yeah.
Nice
Great.
job, honey. Alright, so kind of just cut along. Lines here.
That made me laugh. Exactly, Bob. Do you want to hear it?
Sure, yeah.
Just came home from a training session. 2 hours on the treadmill did me really good. If only I could somehow stop the constant beeping and the irritated comments of the cashier.
Nice.
Zuli has an idea. Maybe you can draw some reference marks and cut it in pieces.
Yeah, good idea. I think that's probably what I'll do is do it in 2 pieces and have do our reference marks to see where to line them up. And then we'll cut them at a 40, like to get this sharp brow. We'll like cut them at we'll cut them angled so that when we glue them together it already has that sharp angle to it. Oh, come on, what happened here? Our tape kind of came loose there. So let's see. Come on, come on. Just along that line, please. Thank you. There we go. Come on out. Come on out, little eye. Here we go. All right. Just pull that piece out. Clean that up. Okay, so there we go. All right, cool. So, let's see. Well, I guess first I should probably kind of put this on my eye and make sure that eye hole's sufficient to see out of for me.
Good thinking.
Yeah, that's probably good. Cool. All right. Now we need to see what we can do here.
I like this.
Huh?
Sorry, I'm focusing on myself.
So a lot of times what I do to try to figure out kind of where I can
That looks really cool to me.
cut is I'll try to like lay it down flat and then just see, okay, what still bulges up, because that's where I'm going to have to change things, right? So ultimately I would like to keep all of this one piece if I can. And I think I can get all the way to here, and if I cut along here, along the inside of this, I think I could lay that down flat too. So then I think if I just do this little eyepiece here, then I could do this separate, have this all be one piece, and then have just this little eyepiece portion be a separate piece. So before we cut, like Zuli said, we gotta make sure that we draw our line that we want to cut along.
Nathan's saying, can you just form a piece of foam around your eye like the tape took shape, and then once it has the shape, put the template in the right spot and cut it out?
It's possible. If you could probably do it with with craft foam. You could probably get heat in enough shape to just completely shape that around your face and get it to kind of keep that same hold. And obviously, it's like it doesn't need to keep that shape perfectly when it's not on you, because you're gonna like basically be spirit gluing it to your face essentially. So that's one option, is to actually just shape, like take a piece of foam and just kind of heat it, and then just shape it to your face, and then just cut out the design that you want on it. I'm doing this a little bit different because I'm going to do this out of the slightly thicker foam, which would be a little bit harder to do with that.
Why are you choosing it to do it out of the thicker foam?
And I want to do it out of the thicker foam because I want to kind of do some beveled edges on it and have it have a little bit more thickness to it. And maybe I'll end up going with the craft foam after I try it, but I wanted to try the thicker foam just to kind of see what we can get out of that and have a little bit more thickness and substance to it. So yeah, that's definitely an option. Good idea. Okay, then I'm going to draw my registration marks all along the line I'm cutting. Okay, so you can kind of see the stitches there as to where we're going to go. And I may need to adjust this slightly because I don't know if once I lay this flat and once I lay this flat, if they're going to overlap on each other, because we might run into that being a problem. And so actually because of that, I think I'm going to just angle this out rather than having it go where it goes right now, up to this corner. Except for that's a lot better way to do the seam, up to that corner rather than down to there. We'll try it and see how it goes as is. Okay, cool. Oh, I need one more registration mark right there. I mean, it's a pretty small edge, so you might not have much of a problem there, but better safe than sorry. Okay, here goes nothing. See if we can kind of gauge this as we go here.
Exactly, Bob. An employee complains to his boss.
Yeah.
Sorry, boss, but the salary doesn't even remotely match the effort I put into my work. Boss nods. I know, but we can't let you starve to death.
The what?
It doesn't work very hard.
Oh. Oh, the opposite of what they were trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. So, like I said once... Oh, sorry, you guys probably couldn't see that. So, I wanted to just check this after I cut that line across there. It's what I was saying is where this overlaps this, which won't work. So, we actually need to change the way we're doing that. So, I'm considering actually just maybe taking this line up here instead. So that this would be a separate piece than this. And then we'll be able to get this angle in here that we want from doing a undercut.
So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to cut along there instead. Kind of stuck this down to the paper a little bit here. Okay, so there's our two separate pieces. And interestingly enough, that does lay flat, even with that sharp brow that was in this. But okay, so there's our two pieces that we're gonna have that are gonna run into each other and line up along there. I wanted to make one more, a little bit better visible registration marks along this line here. And then along this one we had, see, so when we go to attach this to this, that's going to start to add a lot of that torque and shape into that we're going to need. So okay, those and this. I'm just going to exaggerate ease a little bit so I know where to cut. Okay. Alrighty, so now I'm just gonna trim out our registration marks for transferring onto foam, and then we're gonna give this thing a test. There it is. There we go. Okay. And then right here. Especially with this, these registration marks are going to be super crucial because of kind of that weird twisting and torquing that's going to happen on this section right here in particular. And then it'll make a big difference in trying to get those all lined up, because if we didn't have it, we probably wouldn't do it the right way when we go to attach it. Okay, so right there. Just make sure. Yep, that's in the right spot. Okay. Alrighty. Cool, cool. All right. Oh, and you get these two as well, and this one. Anybody asking any questions? Is anybody even out there? Am I talking to myself again?
Exactly, Bob. Whenever I am sad, I just read my blood donor ID. It always says, be positive. And Nathan Reynolds just said, the way those registration marks are cut on that blue, it almost looks like the wings of the Nightwing symbol.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
That's cool. That's a good point. That's funny. Okay. So, here goes nothing. We're going to give this a try. So I kind of wonder where this attaches. This has the full seam along it, right? So I'm actually gonna I'm gonna retrace this piece. And do it in no, maybe we'll just flip it when we trace it. So this piece we're gonna cut out as one whole piece, and then we'll have two of these that'll attach on either side of it, right? So let's pull out some foam. So for this, I'm gonna use this Foamies. Let's flip that around. Foamies foam sheet. It's let's see, what thickness is this? I want to say it's 5 millimeter or 6 millimeter, 6 millimeter thick. And you can get it. They come in like these 8 by 12, 9 by 12 sheets. And if you go on to any of my videos that have a kit link, you can find out where I got these on Amazon, a link to those. And if you shop through my links for those Amazon purchases, then I'm an affiliate, so I get a kickback, and it helps me out to continue to make these. So that would be greatly appreciated. All right, so we're gonna trace these out with the silver gel pen so that it actually shows up on here. Let's plan out our space here the best possible. So again, there's gonna be two of these that are separate, and then we're gonna do this, flip it over, and do make it into one piece.
Did you show them your cool new workbench?
Yeah, I did at the beginning, because I was pretty excited about it. Chanel. I don't know if they thought it was as cool as I do, but... Oh, also, my heat gun died. The one I got from Harbor Freight. And so I'm hoping that was just a fluke. I went and returned it and got a replacement. Just kind of like started making weird sounds and like crashed. And so hopefully that all works out, and it's actually, it's actually a good heat gun, and it's not just a flop, because I would be really disappointed. And then I'd have to tell you guys, hey, don't buy this one. But I'm going to give it a second chance, so we'll see. Maybe I just got a dud. Can they see me tracing on this, or am I out of frame?
They're in frame.
Like I do.
CC what it says, RIP heat gun.
I know. Yeah, it was sad. I was liking it a lot with just the two temperature, easy, kicks off right away.
Total Drum Island said, same, I bought one from Harbor too, and it only lasted me a month.
Shoot. Well, hopefully. I was like, maybe I'm going to do a better job reading the directions this time and just make sure that there's something, like, not something that I did that caused that to happen, but it sounds like it might be a common thing. It's like such a great price. I was so hopeful. We'll find out. So I'm back to using my Wagner one I got from Home Depot.
No, it's lasted a long time.
And it's lasted me like 3 years now or something, right?
I don't know if it's been 3 years, but it's been at least two.
Two, at least two for sure.
CC says, my Ace one is still running strong. I got it from Ace at the beginning of the summer. It was $20.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if the Harbor Freight ones are just kind of like luck of the draw, because I know someone else that's had theirs for a couple years, and they're like, yeah, it's been great. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Or maybe you abuse yours.
Maybe.
So you use it too much.
Perhaps.
You could have an intensive week working on that.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. All right. Okay. There's those. And then let's do this guy. Just make sure we have enough room to flip it. There we go.
Crazy how many pieces a little mask.
Yeah. It's gonna be super cool. Where are we at in time?
It's 10:31.
Oh, okay. Cool. I love working with foam. Worst comes to worst, could easily make this out of polyplastics as well.
That's true. That could look pretty cool. But I like the smoothness of the foam. Like you don't get any fingerprints in it or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay, so we got that. Then we're gonna just do a little flip here.
So Nathan has a question. Since the piece is able to be one piece, are you gonna try an undercut to get that sharp brow?
Yep, that's the plan. Nailed it on the head.
CC Wiss says, I am 3D modeling the NBA cowl. I am hopeful for it. NBA.
NBA? Like National Basketball Association?
Well, he talked about BBS. It changed it to NBA.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I thought you talked about Young Justice.
Sweet. That's impressive. I need to learn more about 3D modeling stuff. That would be a helpful skill to have, for sure. Okay, sorry, my fingers are going to kind of cover up what I'm doing for a second here, but there's no other way to hold this down without getting in the way.
Excuses.
Okay, cool. Look, it does kind of look like a little bird when you put them together, too. Okay. Whoo! Ah!
That looks like a bat.
Yeah, more like a bat. All right. Now, I need my...
Non-existent.
Here we are. Okay. Non-existent weapon, is that what you said?
He said, yeah, there is a class at school, but is on basic stuff. I've been self-teaching myself for like a week now. Cool.
That's awesome.
YouTube.
Yep, it's amazing what you can learn nowadays just on your own. Back in my day... Just kidding. But seriously. We had to look in like encyclopedias and stuff. You guys even know what an encyclopedia is?
Bruce is like, yeah.
Okay. So I don't think there were any like angled cuts we needed to do with this to get them to attach to each other. So we're just going to go for it. And this is where it'd be really nice to have that heat knife. What was that?
Exactly, Bob. My friends and family laughed when I told them I was becoming a comedian. Well, ha! They're not laughing now.
some sound effects for the cutting. Oh, dang it. Well, I'll just have to work. Did I already get this one? No. There we go. Okay, let's pop this guy out. Might be a couple corners I need to get a little bit better as we go through here. Okay. There's that.
And what's that piece for?
That's the middle.
Oh, I see it now.
I like this foam. It cuts so nice. What?
If I were to choose between dating and eating a soup, I think I'd rather eat the soup. Not much point in dating it.
Oh, man.
What would we do without you, Zach
I
Bebop?
know. These long cutting sessions would just be so boring. When are you going to take your show on the road?
I loved that one. They're not laughing now.
Take that. Okay. Another one down. Last one. Here we go. Am I out of the frame?
No.
No. Okay. Well, this is kind of fun working on the mask.
Yeah.
I wasn't anticipating working on this for a little bit.
I'm back! Hi, Raffy Doodle!
Raffy Doodle, what's up? Long time no see. Alrighty. Here we go, everybody. Almost there. We're getting to the fun stuff.
Sorry I haven't been here. It's just not the same as it used to be. I'll get better.
You're just out of practice. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. There's our 3 pieces. Okay, so is it cheese? So I think this is going to go here. This is going to go here. What do you guys think? Does that look pretty cool?
That's awesome.
It actually does kind of look pretty cool. Safe. All right, cool. So it's time to layer this up with contact cement.
So all these edges that have the registration marks are the ones that we're going to put this beautiful stuff on. And I've got to put on my mask because this stuff is stinky.
That sounds fun, Rocky Doodle. High school was doing Phantom of the Opera and rehearsals went really late.
Oh.
And rehearsals went really late.
Sweet. Did you
I feel
tell
like
him?
my voice is too angry.
Did you tell him that like you know the perfect material to create some really cool masks? Yeah, yeah.
And then Nathan says, are you going to sand down the area that will be against your eyes? That way it isn't so thick touching your eyes.
Yeah, we're gonna do all kinds of some little sanding and beveling and stuff. All manner of sanding and beveling.
CC Wiz, Cedric's 4, so I think he's the youngest one here. Just saying. So I guess in dog years, he's got you beat. But in dog years, you've got him beat.
So it's really hard to compare apples to apples on that one.
Welcome, Talon. He says, what's up?
What's up?
We're just making a mask.
Making a Nightwing mask.
No, I'm not wearing anything over my face.
Yeah, you probably oughta.
Well, where is the thing to wear? Oh, right here. Hey, Joshua Harper. He says, hey-o, looking great.
Hey, thanks, man. Welcome.
So those registration marks, you don't cut them. That's just where they meet up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We cut them out of the template so we can draw them on.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, yep. Sorry if I keep getting out of frame or something. I'm focused on gluing. Okay. So now the fun part, we just let these sit here for a little while. Alright, so let's recap. So far, we drew out our design, our plan to design, and obviously things changed since then. Piece of tape stuck to it. Boom, that was our planned drawing. And then things changed. We used our reference images. We taped up my face, drew on our actual design there, and then cut that out. Figured out where we needed to cut to be able to separate it into pieces, to be able to lay it flat 2D, to cut it, trace it onto foam, and then glue those pieces back together to make it three-dimensional again. Right now, the glue, we drew registration marks, cut along those lines, snipped out the registration marks on the template pieces so that we could trace it onto the foam. And then when we go to glue those on, that's where we'll know we need to line things up. Then that's a pretty quick recap. Let's see. Do we have anything? Do you want to show them your cool thing that you changed the color of the metal on while we're waiting?
Zuli, Skylar and I are both older than you, so they're trying to see who's the oldest.
Oh. Who's the oldest that's on right now? Fizz. Yeah. This is actually just water, unfortunately. I love water. Water's great. Everybody drink lots of water.
Unfortunately. I mean, I love water.
I do love water. But I do kind of wish it was
Dr. Pepper.
a Yowza from Fizz. That's my jam. Not to be confused with So Delicious, which has a drink called My Jam, which I used to get as well. But then we moved, so we're not nearby So Delicious anymore.
Nathan wants to know what Fizz is.
It's a drink shop. I don't know if this
is like a Utah
if it
phenomenon.
exists anywhere else other than like Utah and southeastern Idaho. But basically, there's just stores that just do soda drinks
with like mixed in flavors.
With mixed in flavors and things like that. It's basically just like
they take my
like
money from me.
It's like a soda bar almost.
I walk up and I just hand them my wallet.
Yeah, so they have all kinds of like special names and different drinks and stuff. And there's a bunch of different places. Fizz is one of them. They have So Delicious. They have straws. What's the one? Swig.
And they do cookies.
Yeah, and they do cookies. Sometimes some of them do popcorn as well. But yeah, basically they just do soda. That's what they do.
And it's delicious.
And it's delicious.
So delicious.
So Delicious, as one of them named themselves. But yeah, great question. Let's see. Roughly, I'm sitting here in a small town in Kansas, so...
Well, they have something.
Oh, cool. You do have something like that. I wasn't sure if it was only a Utah thing or not.
We love it.
But yeah, we love it, so... Once again, this is just water, though. All right, cool. So I would like to give these a little bit longer still before we stick them together. But they are curing well.
Curing well.
Let's see.
Have your eye.
Things are still a little fuzzy out of this eye. I think I might have like pushed on it too much. Oh, here's this. So.
Yeah, it's not like laced up or anything. You can pull it over if you want.
Oh, okay. I'll just pull in a piece of it. So this is cool. Olivia, we got this like on Wish or whatever. It kind of was looking a little too bikery and not so much like steampunky. So, because these were all silver. But Olivia went through and just changed the color of them. How cool is that?
It's hard to kind of see, but
they're
they're more of gold now, and then I'm gonna go over it with kind of maybe
more of a brassy gold, and then maybe go through with like a black wash or something.
Yeah.
Throw some scratches
and
on
then
it.
I've been pinning some stuff, and I think I'm gonna kind of change the face of it.
And it also had some buckles and things like that kind of looked not.
They looked cheap.
Yeah, so she cut those off and doing something cool with that.
And Rafi Doodle wants you to know that my awesomeness is more awesome. That was me. I'm sorry, Rafi Doodle.
Like my shirt? Yeah, it's from a movie that I worked on. Dear Dumb Diary. I don't know if you guys are...
Watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix right now. You can watch it there.
And I think if you stay to the end, you're dancing at the end.
Oh yeah, like the end credits. They have the crew dancing. I think. I don't know if it's on Netflix that way or not, but at least when we saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, it was a fun thing. It's based on the Scholastic book series Dear Dumb Diary. So go check that out. Let me know what you guys think of it. That was a really fun project. The director for that was amazing.
That's awesome.
Favorite director to work with.
Says I'm a young aspiring actor. I went to school for theater and have been acting for a long time.
Cha.
So that's my story.
Yes, that's the story. That's the story.
He said, but guess what? Kansas.
What?
Maybe they don't have a lot of acting out there.
Oh.
You have time.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Hone your skills.
I have not heard of it, Nathan. Let's see. Have you guys heard of the Titans cast of Nightwing? No, I have not. Like Teen Titans kind of thing?
Titans, the TV show.
I haven't heard of it. I mean, I've heard of Teen Titans. I don't know where to watch it, though. Okay. Are these ready? Has it been... We're supposed to give them like 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes I get impatient. I do it too soon, but it really helps to like give it enough time so that you don't run into problems with your seams. But let's just do it. Okay, so part of the way you can tell, let's get some light up in here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, just listen instead, all right? So, I don't know if you can hear that. You can kind of hear a little bit of a tacky sound, but nothing comes off on my finger, okay? That's kind of how you know that it's basically ready. That it's not too wet anymore, at least. So, okay. I think we want to start with the middle, because those are going to be the hardest ones, and we want to be able to have the most leverage to be able to reach those. So, that's going to be these skinny guys. And I think I'm going to change camera angles for you on this so that you can see this a little bit better with the black on black.
I'm always worried that you're going to show me sitting here when you change the camera.
I'm sneaky enough. All right. So this is gonna be tricky. We gotta get this up in here to match with that, right? So this line has to match up with that line.
Nathan says it's a live action show they're making for DC's streaming service they are coming out with, which is also where Young Justice 3 will be. The guy playing Nightwing is going to be Brenton Thwaites.
Oh, cool. Sounds awesome. I haven't heard of that person before, but they're going to do more Young Justice, which sounds really cool to me. Okay. Oh, something I probably should have done is on these pieces. I mean, it basically comes from the corner there, but I wanted to kind of draw, I'm going to poke a couple holes in here in the template piece. Maybe it'd be better to do with a blade.
And you can go longer if you want, but it's 10:53 right now.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of poke some holes in here along this line so that we can kind of connect the dots so we know where to do the undercut. Okay. And if we're undercutting it, we need to draw that on the back side actually, so... Did any of you guys ever watch Gallivant?
It's totally witching.
We were missing that show. Just
Last night.
last night, yeah. If any of you guys saw it, it was pretty awesome.
It's pretty witching.
So I just kind of, because of those holes, I was able to just kind of poke holes through there and get an idea of where that undercut's going to go.
Yeah, it is on Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's, it got canceled or whatever.
Yeah, after the second season.
After the second season. Which is stupid. It's just such a cool show. It shouldn't have been canceled. I hate when they cancel good shows.
It's just funny when shows that are similar to things keep going on forever and ever.
Yeah.
Like Once Upon a Time goes on forever and ever and ever. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's true.
Josh Robert, like Firefly.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so sad.
And it's like there's some of those shows that like it was just bad timing when they came out or something, you know? And so it just didn't do as well as it should have. And it got canceled, but then it becomes this huge popular thing afterwards, you know? And you're like, dang it. Why did that happen that way? Okay. Here we go. So now we gotta do this one as well. So I'm kind of getting some little holes in there. We're probably gonna need to fill with a little bit of the, put some glue down in there so that we can kind of pinch those back together. But in the meantime, let's get these attached. See how important these registration marks are?
Hey, welcome back, Alpha Proto. They wonder, are you going to smooth out the edges with the rotary tool?
Yippers. You guys are like all on top of it. You guys know the plan before it happens. There we go. Cool. There we go. We're all done.
And
Just kidding. Okay. So, and like I said, we may end up doing this in the other foam after this if we realize that this is just too thick to accomplish what we want to do. But we will see. Okay, I'm going to do this undercut now. See if I can get... Sorry, I'm just focused. So I'm not talking much. Another show that got canceled that shouldn't have was Alphas. Don't know if you guys saw that or not. It was similar to Heroes, but it was a lot better. And it just, wrong time kind of thing. Some reason Heroes went on for how many seasons and Alphas didn't get to. They were both kind of around the same time too, I think, but the better one did not win out on that in that instance.
you still liked Heroes.
I still liked Heroes. And I even watched the reboot.
I'm sorry. Just kidding. I didn't watch it.
No, you didn't watch it. It was pretty good. Chuck was in it.
Well, I saw you watching it, but I was like, nah. You did.
Yeah. Chuck Bartowski.
It's another good show.
That one did not.
That one did not
That
get.
one
That one went for a very
long
long time, which was great.
Yeah, it was fine.
All right, cool. So let's see here now. Let's heat this up and give it some shape, huh? My hot switch there.
Tell us what you're doing.
So yeah, I just heated that up. Now I'm just folding it along the undercut that we did back here. Just kind of adding some shape into it, trying to kind of crease it along that fold. We're definitely going to need to come in here and add some more glue where we missed there. Okay, so that's starting to kind of take shape a little bit there along that brow a little bit better. More like what we were needing. I'm gonna give it a little bit more heat. I got this one pretty good. I need to get this one a little bit better. Okay. So, work on my glasses.
Oh, I see what you're doing. I was like, why does it stick out so funny? But that was the back of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
I
back.
was like, this is gonna look stupid. I was like, this looks so dumb.
That's so funny. All right, let's pop some glue down in there.
I'm sorry, I doubted you.
That's so funny. Here we go. This will work. All right, so I'm just gonna use this little piece of scrap cardboard to kind of get down in there with this glue. Get it in on both sides there. So
Dark Huntress
make
says
sure we
it's
fill
getting
this.
there. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you.
And you're so nice, and I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be dumb. And then he puts it on, like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. It looks really good. Hi, Harley, Miss Apprentice. Hi, how are you. That was not a very good one. But I've been wanting you to come back because I was thinking about Mr. J. That was the only one that I kind of did. Okay. But
You're awesome, love.
oh, thanks. You're so sweet to me. And I'm like, that's going to be weird.
Because you're looking at the back, you're like,
yeah.
that's silly looking.
Like, why would you want it to pop out like that?
It's like Spider-Man's makeshift little thing that he made.
Like goggles.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Amanda, welcome. It says the mask looks cool.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so here in a second, we got kind of this part sunken in here. Once that glue dries a little bit, we're gonna glue those little pig nose things together, and then we'll heat up the rest of the mask and the nose part here and really kind of get that put into shape. And having this glue here will help us do that as well. And then we'll go through and probably Dremel some of this out.
Nathan wants to know where you're going to put glue in the undercuts. They stay better that way.
Yeah, I want to make sure that that we've got the look that we want right there before I do so. But yeah, that way.
Would you just use like hot glue or something?
Super glue, hot glue. You can do contact cement. It's a little bit messier to try to do inside of those, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised how complex it is, Dark Huntress. I was like, yeah, we're gonna whip out a mask tonight. It's gonna be fast. I mean, it's been fast because we almost have it done, but still.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. So yeah, we're gonna need to add, probably pinch, this is gonna need to pinch up a little bit more here. And then this all is gonna need to start to kind of curve around like that kind of thing. So just waiting for that glue to dry in there. And then we can just like hit this with some heat, stick it on my face and shape it. Sure. I like that it's kind of got like these little piggy bat nose in the middle. I feel like those are pulling further and further apart.
Oh, it only says 3 are watching.
What? Mine says 11.
Oh, mine's weird. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so, YouTube. No, mine says 11 too.
When everything's coming your way, perhaps you're in the wrong direction on the highway.
Something to think about. Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. So next time someone says, everything is coming my way, I'll be like,
Do you mean everything's going my way?
Yeah. Just in case they say coming my way, then you like know that they're in trouble.
Well, I thought like things were like coming at you was a bad thing.
Oh, like things are coming into your life, coming together.
Dark Huntress says, last time I was here, it was Nightwing's armor and chest plate, I think. You could do a recap of what the costume looks like for those who haven't been here in a while.
Yeah, that's true. So I've got the arms and legs and what else now already? Basically arms and legs. And the shoulder pieces as well. Oh. So that kind of...
You have one more leg to do, right?
Yeah, I still need to finish the one leg, but I didn't want to just repeat what we've already done. So sorry, I'm kind of out of frame here. I just wanted to hurry and try to shape this around my nose. And I didn't want the foam to cool before.
Dark Hunter says, does anyone not get notifications even though you're supposed to be notified? I didn't even know this was live till I opened YouTube and it was at the bottom of my feed.
Yeah, maybe what you might need to do, YouTube doesn't notify you of everything if you just subscribe, but you gotta subscribe and hit that little bell icon.
But I think she's saying that she did because she said she's supposed to be notified.
Oh.
I don't know, maybe not. Maybe you need to hit the bell.
Yeah. Yeah, and if that's not it, then I don't know. That's not cool. YouTube. Come on.
Come on, YouTube. That was it. That was all I could muster. Ha! That looks really cool.
So that's coming together. Now let's curve these outside portions, eh? Mm-hmm.
Don't burn yourself. We don't need a Two-Face now.
Yeah.
Julie says that's looking pretty cool.
Thank you, thank you.
Just because of your registration marks and they kind of look like stitching, it reminds me of
The old Catwoman stitched
Catwoman,
mess.
yeah. The Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then let's heat up this side and do that because that makes a huge difference, huh? Cha-ya! Light things up on stage. We just watched Sing last night.
Hi, Wowza. Dark Hunter says, geez, and I thought my bat cow was legit. Awesome work so far.
Thank you.
I'm sure your bat cow is still legit. Sometimes I say things and they sound stupid once I say them out loud, but I really mean them. Nathan says, speaking of which, it would be cool looking and kind of steampunky if you made your Catwoman mask look as if it were stitched together in spots with like wire or something. Yeah, that would be cool with my cowl. We were thinking of maybe making the ears have like grills on them so that they actually looked like they had sort of like a purpose, like a amplification.
Like a listening device kind of thing almost.
Yeah, Dark Hunter is saying that the foam looks like leather.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going, why I wanted to do it with foam too, is it kind of gives it like this leathery, it kind of has that superhero like look and feel to it, you know what I mean? You guys, this is looking cool. All right, what do you think? So, my plan for the, I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with my eyebrows.
I was just thinking about that because if you do anything right there, it's gonna be really painful. Because you move them a lot.
I do.
So the whole thing's gonna come
when if I spirit gum those on, then I'm gonna be like, so yeah, I'll have to figure out. Maybe what we'll do is we just spirit gum.
Well, I think
here
spirit gum the bridge of your
here.
nose and
then these like this corner, this corner,
Yeah, don't go
this
around
corner,
your
this
eyes
corner.
because that's so sensitive. But
Yeah.
get around here.
Just my nose, and then
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. 6
We'll
points.
play with it. Nathan
We'll
says,
figure it
shave those brows. Not really.
Yeah.
Oh, please no.
That would be bad.
It's like I'm last man on earth.
This is gonna be cool.
Make some more fake eyebrows.
All right. Well, yeah. So that's gonna be sweet. Wondering.
Oh, sorry. Dark Hunter's question. Oh, so you heated it with tinfoil? Cause I know that would kind of give it a leather tattered look. Oh, he didn't heat it with tinfoil. I think it just kind of has that shiny look to it.
Yeah, it just kind of has that leather sheen to it. With when you heat it, it kind of the foam kind of seals itself, and it kind of gets that look to it. If you wanted to make it look even more kind of like a leather, you can use the trick I do in the. Actually, I have a video on how to make foam look like leather. That you can use that. I used it on the Wonder Woman skirt. So that's something too. If you wanted to do something that like was a full leather looking mask, you can look that up and see kind of how I did that too, and watch those videos. So yeah, what I'm thinking now we'll do is maybe, I don't know. It looks pretty sweet as is. I wonder if I have to decide whether I want to actually try to taper these edges or not. They're pretty clean.
I like the crisp look.
They're pretty clean as is, and it doesn't stick out as far on my face as I thought it would. Like I'd have to kind of taper it down to make it not look as thick. But I kind of actually like the thickness that it has. Maybe on this underside.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, maybe. I'm so nervous for you to touch it because it looks.
I know, right? Because it looks so cool at this point. That's always the hardest part. It's like, okay, well, what do we do? Do we do something more, or do we just leave it? So, I think we're pretty much out of time here, but let's just talk about kind of what my plan is of how I'm going to do the white eyes, or what my thoughts were. I'll be right back with what I need to show you to do that.
Hi, everybody! Hi, I'm Skylar, and I'm gonna teach you some really cool stuff about making stuff with, like, pens, and I'm gonna hand you this, and I thought he would be a lot faster, but it's still taking him a while, so, yeah. Oh, he's back. Oh, how embarrassing.
I love it. Okay, so.
Oh, good point. Dark Hunter says if it's thinner, I think it'll rip.
The mask?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I'm going to do for the white eye
White eye
section. What this is, you guys know how like you see buses driving around and they have like these ads that go clear across their windows and everything, right? But then you're on the bus and you have the ad and you're like, whoa, I can actually see out. How does that work? So it's this stuff. It has like vinyl, like a decal kind of thing put on it, and then the ads are printed onto this, but it has a bunch of tiny little, where's the camera? Bunch of tiny little holes in it, so you can see through from the inside, but from the outside, it looks just like it's just white kind of thing, right? Or just whatever the ad is. So
Where
in
do
this
you
case,
get that stuff, Cece? Which one?
so I got this on Amazon.
Do you have some on the right?
I'm wondering if I have a link
I think you do in Deadpool.
to it yet.
Oh, but you haven't put up anything.
I haven't put anything up.
But
for
what
the
about
mask.
Ronnie's mask?
Oh, yes. So, on the, we did it for the Iron Fist mask. So, if you go into the description for that, I think you should find this. It's like a perforated window decal, something or other. But yeah, you should have a link for it in the Iron Fist video. If you go to that, go to the description, there should be a link to Amazon where you can get this. And it comes in this like pretty decent sized roll, and it wasn't too bad price for like if you're using this for eyes, just like imagine how many eyes you're gonna be able to get out of this. It's amazing. And it's just got a sticker. It's just like a kind of got the sticker backing that you peel away, and then it's dark on this side, so that also from being on this side helps you be able to see through it.
They're wondering if you can print on it.
I imagine you can.
Try it out.
Yeah, try it out and let me know, because I bet you probably can, and you can do some cool stuff with that. But yeah, like this is gonna last forever. I've used it for like 4 or 5 masks already, and I've hardly like even touched how much I have. And then so what I use generally is for those of you that were around for the Voltron stuff, I just pick up containers, when we buy food and stuff, like strawberries, blueberries, they come in clear plastic containers, spinach, Costco, you buy some croissants or whatever, and they just have huge pieces of clear plastic that you can use and create lenses, and then you just lay this over the top, stick it over the top of a lens piece, right? And then you have a white lens that you can see through. So it worked great for Spider-Man eyes, that kind of thing too. So what my plan is, though, because I don't know, with it being so close to my face on the inside here, I don't know if I'll have
you're
room
not
to
gonna
do
the
a
eyebrows anymore.
full lens, and I didn't want it fogging up a lens on the inside. And so I was thinking about just kind of doing a plastic lens around, like as a perimeter around it, and then leaving this part wide open, just with kind of the fabric stretched between. Or not, this isn't fabric, but the sticky stuff. But I don't, I think it would probably stick to me because it's got that sticky backing. So anyway, we'll have to play around with that and figure that out. But I think that this is probably where we're at for tonight. So, but I think it turned out pretty sweet. I mean, we made this in like 2 hours, guys. From scratch, like start to finish. Designing it, creating the template, pattern, everything. So, that's pretty cool. So any last questions before we end for tonight?
Dark Hunters, did you get your question answered with the silicone or thermoplastic? I'm not, or
what was the question?
Do you think silicone would work, or like a thermoplastic for the white slit in the mask? I think that then you ended up talking about this. But
So hopefully that answered your question on this. So for the white, it would have to be see-through. So I don't think silicone or thermoplastic would work. Possibly Transpo Art, which is basically just PETG, which is clear plastic, like these kind of things. It's just more expensive. It's probably a little bit thicker, a little bit better quality, but that's free. Unless you buy the spinach to get the plastic container or whatever.
Could that work for, I don't know the name of that person.
Rorschach mask. Second, let me Google that character. Sorry.
I'm not afraid to admit.
Nope. How did you spell it?
It's spelled RORSCHACH.
Oh, let's see.
Watchmen.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, you're talking about the white eye thing? Yeah, that would totally work.
Let's see.
And two, I mean, depending, like you'd totally be able to do that for the white eye part. I would probably do like the rest of the mask would just be like probably I would do a face shell that I would make out of foam that would go underneath, and then have the eye openings kind of thing, and then have the
like a fabric?
Yeah, like a spandex fabric that would pull
Spandex
over.
Or like a cheesecloth.
That would pull over.
Oh yeah.
And then you would just have that white area for the eyes right there. And then have the rest of the spandex like painted to fit the black and white pattern. That's quite the pattern on that mask. Wow.
She says it's Rorschach. That's how you say it.
Rorschach. Is it based off of the ink spots for like psychiatrists? That the psychiatrists do or whatever? Like, what do you see? I think, because that's kind of the feeling I get from it.
Maybe that's what you see.
That's what I see in it.
Anyway. Rafi just says yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Cool. Kingsman didn't
Not Kingsman, Watchmen.
Watchmen. Okay. Who was okay? So that's never
That
mind.
came out like
Watchmen.
2 years before I got married.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to see that. All right, cool. Let's see. Yep. Rorschach. That's how you say it. Cool. Yes, and they changed too. Oh wow, that's tricky. Now my brain's trying to think of how you'd make it change. Okay, let's see. Actually do... Oh, that's funny. They actually do that as a test.
Oh, so it is called a Rorschach test.
Yeah,
That's
so that
right.
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I knew that at one point.
Cool. All right. Well, let's see.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'll have to see that. I didn't even know that about it. So cool. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Sorry we went a little bit over. Hopefully you guys didn't mind because we were making something legit. And yeah. We love hanging out with you guys. Have a great night.
Totally.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, check out the other videos. And of course, cosplay on, my friends.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Olivia loves when I say ciao. I can't cover it with the mask because there's like holes all over in it.